It's 6 o'clock on Saturday the 24th of February, and welcome to our Saturday evening news. We're a slightly shorter programme this week because we've had a little bit shorter time to prepare for this week's news programme, but I hope you will forgive us for that. And in the news this week, Dorset County Hospital has opened a newly refurbished 8-patients assessment centre at Southwarks House in Dorchester. The Trust received more than £14 million from NHS England's Elective Recovery and Community Diagnostics Programme, that's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it, to transform 2 floors of the building into permanent clinical space after signing a 20-year lease with Dorset Council. DCH started running a pop-in 8-patients assessment centre on 1 floor of the building back in November 2021, and this was initially set up as a temporary measure to tackle NHS waiting lists and was created as part of a partnership between NHS Dorset, Dorset Healthcare, Active Dorset and Live Well Dorset. The funding has been used to expand and enhance the centre. There are now 2 floors of dedicated clinical space that will allow the Trust to run more 8-patient clinics and offer diagnostic appointments such as x-rays and scans, as well as day case local anaesthetic procedures and general health and wellbeing services. Arts at University Bournemouth students design the internal artwork to create a welcoming space and help patients find their way around, and volunteers will also be on hand to offer support. The facility is based in the town centre next to the library and close to local shops and businesses. Dorset County Hospital's Chief Operating Officer Anita Thomas said, "We are delighted that our new 8-patient assessment centre has opened at Southwarks House. It will give us additional clinical space and facilities to reduce waiting times for 8 patients and diagnostic appointments and ensure patients receive the right care and treatment more quickly. Clinicians across different specialities will work together to find the best treatment options for patients. People will be able to signpost the services they need on the day so that they can see the healthcare professionals they need at the same appointment. Patients will also be able to access a wealth of health and wellbeing information and advice on site, which will support their treatment. The first clinics will be held at the new centre and will include orthopaedics, rheumatology, musculoskeletal physiotherapy, orthodontics and phlebotomy, with many more due to run from there in the coming months." Building on the success of previous hugely popular events, the Family Science Day will be taking place again at Dorset Museum and Art Gallery on Sunday the 17th of March from 11am to 1pm and 2pm to 4pm. This free but ticketed activity is sure to bring out the Marie Curie or the Albert Einstein in you. Aimed at children aged 4+, but with something for people of all ages to enjoy, Family Science Day will include over 20 different stalls from a range of scientific disciplines to allow you to get involved in some fantastic hands-on learning and experiments. There will be a great range of activities hosted by local scientists, allowing you to try all sorts of investigations, find out how physics plays a part in everyday life, discover the invisible world of microbes, explore the biodiversity of the natural world, discover how magnets and gravity work, test your knowledge of water systems, fossils and seaweed, and even handle a 205 million year old meteorite. Entrance is strictly by ticket only, obtainable from the Dorset Museum and Art Gallery website, where you can also reserve tickets for the Critter Clan, who are back with their latest captivating and immersive experience, the Critter Chronicles. Travel through time with them, unlocking the secrets, folklore and profound beliefs surrounding some fascinating invertebrates, and join them on a thrilling voyage as they venture into uncharted territories where creatures both tiny and mighty hold mythical powers and stories just waiting to be discovered. So, as well as the Family Science Day and Critter Clan talks, there will be opportunities to buy a ticket from Dorchester Arts for the Fab Family performance also on the 17th of March at the Corn Exchange. The Discovery Lab is a spaceship and home to travelling aliens on an Earth exploration mission, but don't worry, they come in peace and they're keen to make discoveries with you. The Earth experts. Improvised theatre meets interactive science by award-winning theatre company Brave Bold Drama, suitable for age 6 and above, and there'll be 2 performances at noon and 2pm. So you could take in a show and a talk and visit the Family Science Day to enjoy a fully scientific, scientastic day. Now, Family Science Day is being coordinated by Dorset Town Council, Bournemouth University, the Institute of Physics and Dorset Museum and Art Gallery, with the help of several local scientists. Full information about everything happening, check out the Dorset Science Festival Facebook page, so that's Dorset Science Festival Facebook page, and look up the events or grab a programme from a number of locations around Dorchester Town, the library, the Learning Centre, Waterstones, Dorset Museum and Art Gallery, and the Town Council offices. So that's a fantastic day coming up there. Now today, the Ukrainian flag has been raised at County Hall in Dorchester to mark the second anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. More than 1,000 Ukrainians have settled across Dorset since Vladimir Putin's forces began the war, forcing thousands to flee their homeland. Councillor Laura Bedder of Dorset Council's portfolio holder for culture, communities and customer service said, as we mark the second anniversary of this conflict, we continue to stand shoulder to shoulder with the people of Ukraine and reaffirm our commitment to those fleeing the conflict in their homeland, as we do every day. Dorset has a proud history of welcoming new arrivals at times of crisis, offering homes and support to people escaping the horrors of war. The Homes for Ukraine scheme, which is being administered by Dorset Council alongside other organisations, continues to see local residents giving accommodation to families from the war-torn country, and we want to add to our sincere thanks and tribute to communities who have opened their hearts and their homes. We also want to thank local voluntary and community organisations we work with to ensure refugees arriving from Ukraine are welcomed and receive support they need. Councillor Val Pothecary, who's the chairman of Dorset Council, said, today will mark 2 years since the war against Ukraine began. We will raise the Ukrainian flag to send a clear message of support, especially to those Ukrainians who have chosen to make our county their home in the past year. As the war sadly continues, Ukrainians still need a place of safety, and the council is looking for more hosts and landlords in Dorset to help Ukrainians already in the area who need to move on from their initial sponsorship arrangement. If you are able to continue hosting but need further support, or if you're interested in hosting and would like to find out more, please do not hesitate to contact us at ukraineresponse@dorsetcouncil.gov.uk. That's Ukraine response at dorsetcouncil.gov.uk. Dorset Council has launched a safer renting scheme in Weymouth and Portland to improve rented property standards and help landlords comply with a range of laws. Since its launch last year, 75% of landlords who have been contacted via the scheme have already signed up and received bespoke advice and information in return. The Council is keen, however, to contact those landlords that have been written to but are still to respond. The process is simple. Landlords approached through Safer Renting will receive a letter advising them to log their details and complete a form for the property that they rent out. They will then be asked to confirm that they meet common legal requirements such as possessing a current gas safety certificate, electrical condition report and providing a smoke detector on each level of the property. Dorset Council's portfolio holder for adult social care, health and housing, whose councillor Jane Somper said, this front-facing service is helping landlords comply with their legal requirements and improving standards and safety in rented properties. It also means we can target those properties which are rented but where the landlord has not told us about the conditions and can act accordingly. I would appeal to landlords in Weymouth and Portland to complete the online form on our website if they haven't already done so, to be sure that they are complying with the law. The form just takes a few minutes to complete and it's on the Dorset Council website and allows landlords to check that they comply with a number of important legal requirements. Now the website is www.dorsetcouncil.gov.uk/safe-renting. If you just search in Google for Dorset Council and safe renting, I'm sure it will come up with you. Now, once you've submitted your information, the council will send a confirmation email as well as bespoke advice on how to achieve compliance if you haven't managed to check everything as done. This could be anything from a checklist of required certificates and paperwork to more specific advice based on information that the landlord has submitted. In some cases, the council and landlord will agree that an inspection is necessary to help resolve the issues. There we go, that's safer renting from Dorset Council. Now, appeals this week from Dorset Police. Detectives investigating a report of a rape in Weymouth are renewing their appeal for information from the public. Dorset Police received a report at 10:37 p.m. on Sunday the 18th of February, raising concerns for the welfare of a woman in the Park District area. Officers attended and located a woman aged in her 20s who reported she had been raped by a man in an alleyway off Stanley Street, Derby Street and Queen Street between approximately 9:15 p.m. and 9:30 p.m. earlier the same evening. A 61-year-old man from Weymouth was arrested on suspicion of rape and has been released on police bail while inquiries continue. Detective Chief Inspector Neil Third of the Major Crime Investigation Team said, "We are continuing to provide support to the victim while our inquiries are ongoing. I would now like to specifically appeal to two women who were in the Tides Inn in King Street at around 10:15 p.m. and spoke to a woman in distress outside the pub to please come forward, as they may have important information to help our inquiries. Extensive inquiries are continuing into this incident, and I would like to ask anyone with any information who has not already spoken to the police to please get in touch." So that's the first one. Next, officers investigating a failed to stop road traffic collision in Weymouth are issuing an image of a man they wish to speak to. Unfortunately, we don't have the image, but we can get it up on our Facebook page later. At around 5:30 p.m. on Wednesday the 17th of January, a single vehicle collision occurred involving a silver Seat hatchback car in Cumberland Drive on the Granby estate. The vehicle was reported as stolen from the forecourt of the Granby Diner in Albany Road. It is reported that the driver and a passenger of the vehicle left the scene on foot prior to emergency services attending. Police carried out a search of the area, but they were not located. The victim's bank card, which was inside the stolen vehicle, was subsequently reportedly used at around 7:30 p.m. at the BP garage in Dorchester Road. Police Constable Lauren Edwards of Weymouth Police said, "We are continuing to investigate this incident and we have obtained an image of a man who I'd like to speak to in connection with the road traffic collision and the fraudulent use of a bank card, urging anyone with any information to come forward." Also, Dorset Police are appealing for witness to anyone to come forward as they investigate the assault of a teenage boy in Weymouth. It's reported around 5:30 p.m. on Monday the 19th of February. The victim was approached by a group of 6 young people. We've got some sort of alarm going off here and I don't know what it is. So I do apologise. Not sure what it is, but hopefully it might go off in a minute. I do apologise for the noise in the background. It's reported around 5:30 on Monday the 19th of February, the victim approached by a group of 6 young people near the skate park in the Marsh playing fields in Knightsdale Road. He is reportedly punched multiple times in the head by a male member of the group wearing a black hooded top, black trousers, black trainers and wearing a bum bag. The group, all dressed in similar clothing, then made off in the direction of the Rodwell Trail. The victim sustained several facial injuries and was later treated in hospital. Anyone with information is asked to contact Dorset Police on 101 or Crime Stoppers on 0800 555 111. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go to our film review and preview with Andrew Wright. Well, there it's gone. Whatever it was, it's gone off. I don't know what that sound is. It could be our emergency power backup supply here that has done a test or tried to cut in, but it's not a sound I recognise, so I will investigate that. I was going to go to our report from Andrew Wright, but as it's gone off, we will carry on. If it starts again, we will go to our film report and preview, and we will investigate what that alarm is, and before we come back to you. But let's carry on with the news headlines. Joy of live TV. A new draft blueprint which could transform Weymouth seafront over the next 10 years has been criticised for a lack of cycle lanes on the promenade. A draft 10-year seafront strategy was presented to Weymouth Town Council's full council meeting on Wednesday, covering the 3-kilometre area from the promenade walkway along the seafront near the pavilion and along to Greenhill and Overcombe. It comes after the plans passed through the Town Council's Environment and Services Committee last month. Councillor Luke Wakelin said he was underwhelmed by the strategy and its commitment to environmental issues after 2 years of work. He argued that residents wanted better the ability to cycle along the promenade. He said there are certain things that our residents had strong preferences for that have dropped out altogether. There are two areas that he felt were missing something. The second priority of residents, 44% of residents wanted, was better spaces for events and the environment. And he said he would also like to see us address the frequent use of petrol generators on the promenade, as this was not something that was needed in the 21st century. Another priority was better routes for cyclists on the seafront. Nearly 4 in 10 residents supported that. The majority of local people don't drive to the beach. Councillor Wakeling tabled an amendment which included a plan to work with partners to develop year-round cycle routes along the promenade and to investigate one or more permanent electrical power connections at the Jubilee clock, sufficient to power small to medium-sized events without the need for generators. Any plans for cycle lanes would need a decision by Dorset Council. The amendment was criticised by some other councillors, citing that the seafront plan should focus on what the town council can deliver and not on matters that are overseen by Dorset Council. The draft was discussed on Wednesday and is a fresh plan created by Weymouth Town Council officers. Despite some objections, a vote to amend the plan to approach Dorset Council about cycling abilities on the promenade was agreed by councillors by a vote of 17 for and 4 against. Councillors voted unanimously in favour of a reduction in the use of generators. Now, new auto speedwatch cameras to help stop speeding are about to arrive in Dorset. Auto speedwatch cameras are being set up across Dorset as part of a new initiative to combat speeding. The cameras, which are being funded by the Dorset Police and Crime Commissioner, will work as an extension to Dorset's already successful community speedwatch scheme and will add further coverage over 12 sites. The cameras will work similarly to the already existing community speedwatch cameras by capturing speeding vehicle registrations and sending a suitably robust no excuses warning letter designed to be educational to higher end speeders. If the vehicle is detected a second time, there will be a dedicated uniformed intervention. Dorset Police and Crime Commissioner David Siddick said road safety is a hugely important issue. When you decide to get in a car and speed, you are putting your own and others' lives at risk. In Dorset, our community speedwatch teams are a valuable asset that provide critical support in protecting our communities and decreasing casualties on our roads. These new cameras come as a direct result of Dorset residents telling me that they want more done about speeding in their villages. Assuming this pilot is successful, I'll be looking to work with partners to extend the scheme across Dorset as widely as possible. If you are concerned about any speeding issues in your area, you can report it online to Dorset Police on their website, dorset.police.uk. Now, hundreds of trees have been planted at Tumbledown in Weymouth to help biodiversity. It's been a hive of activity at Tumbledown over the last week after hundreds of trees have been planted ahead of the spring season. So far, volunteers and groups have planted over 350 trees. Tumbledown have welcomed over 50 volunteers to help plant trees, including children from South Hill Primary School, Westfield School, Weymouth College and the Lantern Trust. Chair of the Environment and Services Committee, Councillor Ryan Hope, says it's great to see so many people getting involved and volunteering in the recent tree planting events at Tumbledown. Planting more trees is great for people, planet and wildlife. They will one day support Weymouth Town Council's commitment to tackling climate change. Now, if you'd like to get involved in planting more trees at Tumbledown, we are looking to welcome more people into this great community space to help over the next few weeks, says Councillor Hope. Now, if you fancy volunteering and getting involved in tree planting, get in touch with the Tumbledown site manager, Alan Chambers, on 07799 237 629. 07799 237 629. Or you can look out for the Tumbledown Facebook group to find out more information. And finally, in our news headlines this week, police are warning motorists not to leave valuables in cars after a spate of thefts in Weymouth and Portland. The advice from Dorset Police says never leave your keys in the ignition, even when getting fuel or de-icing your vehicle. Ensure all doors and the boot of your vehicle is locked before you leave it. Check you have not left your windows or sunroof open when leaving the vehicle. Don't leave any valuables such as sat-navs, sunglasses, mobile phones or shopping, blue badges or documents in your vehicle. And if you have no option but to leave them in the vehicle, make sure they are completely out of view. And when leaving your car, if you can't leave it in a garage or in your drive, leave it in a well-lit location or on a busy road. Now that's the end of our news headlines tonight, and we now go straight over to Andrew Wright for this week's film review and preview.
Welcome to Outrageous TV Film Review and Preview. I'm Andrew Wright. This week, the Marvel Studios film The Marvels arrived on home video. The film stars Brie Larson, Tiona Paris, Aman Vellani and Samuel L. Jackson, and revolves around Carol Danvers entangling with Monica Rambeau and Kamala Khan when an alien warlord comes after them on a quest for power. The film received mixed reviews from critics and was a failure at the box office. I reviewed it about 2 weeks ago when it came out on Disney Plus, where I gave it 3 stars out of 5, where I just praised how fun the film is, but I criticised the fact that the film is too overstuffed with too short a runtime to do it justice. This weekend, a big anticipated release arrives on Netflix in the form of a new live-action adaptation of Avatar: The Last Airbender. The series is set in a war-torn world where people can bend one of the 4 classic elements: fire, water, earth, or air. And the series revolves around Aang, the last living airbender, who maintains the balance between the worlds and is tasked with ending the ambitions of the militaristic Fire Nation who wants to conquer the world. The series is met with some hesitation due to the previous live-action adaptation, that's the 2010 M. Night Shyamalan film, that failed rather spectacularly. I haven't seen it. And the animated series creators quitting the Netflix series due to creative disagreements with Netflix. As of recording this, I've only seen the first episode, and I thought it was quite bad. There was a lot of stuff that didn't make sense, and it just didn't really click with me. The dialogue is so badly written that the acting just makes it cringy. I'll continue watching the series to see how it goes, so stay tuned. I might give a full series review next week, so stay tuned. This week, the trailer for the feature film adaptation of the video game Borderlands was released. The film stars Cate Blanchett, Kevin Hart, Jack Black, and Jamie Lee Curtis, and the film revolves around an infamous outlaw with a mysterious past who returns to her home planet and forms an alliance with a ragtag team to find a missing girl, with the fate of the universe being in their hands. The film is from director Eli Roth, who is most famous for his acting role in Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds. Borderlands is in cinemas this August, so stay tuned for that. In other more recent sort of news, the John Wick spin-off Ballerina, starring Ana de Armas, has been delayed by a year to June 2025. So to add new sequences to the film, it's not reshoots, it's just more filming. So you'll have to wait a little bit longer for that. That's all I have for this week, but be sure to check back next week where I will be reviewing the home video release of The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, as hopefully, because there seems to be something going around, weird, wonky with the order, and as well as I'll also be reviewing the release of the Netflix original movie Code 8 Part 2. Now back to Gary in the studio.
Thank you very much, Andrew. And I've now had a chance to investigate the alarm signal that we had. It is our battery backup supply that is showing a fault, but as long as the main power doesn't go off, we will be absolutely okay this evening. It's now time to go over to the weather forecasts from the Met Office, and this week we are joined by Greg Dewhurst.
Hello there, welcome to your Saturday afternoon forecast. It's fairly bright out there, a mixture of sunny spells and scattered showers. However, we are keeping an eye on this area of low pressure as it moves into southern counties of England and Wales over the course of Sunday and into Monday. It'll bring some heavy rain, some strong winds as well, and this heavy rain falling on saturated ground could lead to some localised flooding problems. Met Office warnings for that heavy rain already out across southern counties of England. For the rest of Saturday, fairly bright, a lot of cloud around, but there'll be some sunny spells at times, but also a scattering of showers. Showers quite intense across southern counties of England for a time, and these showers across almost anywhere in the UK could contain some hail, perhaps some sleet and snow over the highest ground too. But in between, plenty of sunny spells, and even though temperatures will be near average for the time of year, it won't feel too bad. But as those showers push through, you will notice the chill in the air, 7 to 9 Celsius across the board. Into the evening time, we'll gradually see those showers fade away. The cloud melts away too, so we'll see clearing skies. And with generally light winds for most of us, we'll see some mist and fog patches forming. Temperatures dipping away as well, allowing some frost to form, perhaps some icy stretches from recent showers. Towns and cities close to freezing, in the countryside just below. However, it is all changed towards the very far southwest, parts of Cornwall here. The wind increasing, outbreaks of rain moving in and temperatures rising as a result. So a cloudy, wet start to the day across the far southwest as this area of low pressure moves in. Elsewhere, cold with some mist and fog and frost patches, but brightening up for many with sunny spells. But it's this area of low pressure moving through the English Channel, bringing outbreaks of heavy rain across southern counties of England into Wales as well. This could lead to some localised flooding problems, so do take care if you are travelling through the day on Sunday across these southern counties. Elsewhere, in the best of the sunshine, won't feel too bad again with generally light winds, temperatures 7 to 9 Celsius, but stuck under some cloud and the showers passing through, it will feel slightly chillier than the numbers suggest, particularly across southern areas where we'll reach into double figures. Into the evening time, this low pressure slowly pushes its way eastwards, further heavy rain transferring into southeast England. Elsewhere, any showers tending to become confined to coastal areas, allowing for another cold night to take us into Monday. So fairly unsettled over the next few days, particularly Sunday and into Monday morning, with Met Office warnings in force. You can keep up to date on our social media channels. I'll see you again soon.
Many thanks there, Greg, for that. And looking at the weather along the south coast for us this week, still quite mild. Some heavy rain tomorrow, sunny spells in the week, but temperatures at night time dropping a bit more as the week goes on, and again rain coming back next weekend. So watch the weather forecast if you are going out and about this week. It looks to be dry during the middle of the week. Now turning to our What's On section, Weymouth Pavilion tomorrow. There was an old lady who swallowed a fly. I think that's a children's thing. 2nd of March, the story of Guitar Heroes. 6th of March, the best of Hans Zimmer film and TV favourites. 7th of March, an evening with Anton de Beck and friends. More information on those and other things coming up at Weymouth Pavilion on their website, weymouthpavilion.com, or 01305 783 225. The Knowth Fort, basically coming up now. They start to open up again after this weekend. They've had their World War II week last week. 1st of March, Artistic Takeover. 2nd to 3rd of March, Castles and Dragons Fantasy Adventure. 17th of March, their Science Day. 28th of March to 14th of April, their Easter Fun Fair, and much more coming up at the Knowth Fort. Their website for more information, knowthfort.org.uk. Arts Reach, full programme is out now. 25th of February, tea with William Barnes, the Ridgeway Singers and Band. That's an online experience. 2nd of March, Harbottle and Jones, West Stafford Village Hall. 9th of March, Latchpin at Powerstock Hut. More information on those and other things from Arts Reach at artsreach.co.uk. Two interesting talks coming up on Monday, 26th of February, Weymouth Museum Teas and Talks. This week on Sir Samuel Myco. That's 2 o'clock to 3:30 at Hope Church in Trinity Street, Weymouth. Talk presented by Stuart MacLeod. We'll look at the life and times of Sir Samuel Myco, who lived from 1608 to 1666. He was a rich London merchant who was born in Melcombe Regis and traded throughout the Civil War and the plague from Weymouth, and left a lot of money to the town to give to young people for apprenticeships, and the trust still runs today. So that's 26th of February, Monday, 2 o'clock to 3:30 at Hope Church. You can go along. It's open to non-members as well, and I can't remember the charges, but it's something like £2.50 or £3.50, and I think that includes a cup of tea as well. Also, Friends of Sherborne Abbey, a presentation entitled The History, Heritage and Archaeology of the Sherborne Abbey Project on Monday the 4th of March, 7 p.m. in the Abbey. This talk is given by Francis Brown, who's a PhD student, and will introduce the project entitled The History, Heritage and Archaeology of Sherborne Abbey. And it's run by the University of Exeter and funded by the Friends of Sherborne Abbey. He'll discuss and outline the aims of the studentship that he undertook, comprised of a PhD project and compilation of conservation management plan for the Abbey. And he gives insight into his research over the period of the project he's done there. So if you go along to the Sherborne Abbey website, sherborneabbey.com, there's more information there and the contact details to book a slot if you're interested. Church services tomorrow in the area, 8 o'clock All Saints Church, 9:30 at All Saints Church, and 11 o'clock at St Edmund's Church. All that leaves me to remind you is that our other programme, our weekly Saturday evening quiz, is on at 7:30 tonight, which is available for anyone to join us. It's family friendly, it's free of charge, and we're always pleased to receive people. If you have any news or information or events coming up and you'd like to share with us, do drop us a line. Our email, as ever, news@whiteregis.tv, news@whiteregis.tv, and we will be pleased to receive that information from you. Other than that, it just leaves me to say have a good weekend, have a good week ahead, and we will be back with you 6 o'clock next Saturday. Good night.